When my boyfriend, 36 male, and I, 36 female, started dating, he told me he doesn't believe men and women can be just friends. He was so jealous that he demanded I cut off a long-term male friend of mine, even though that friendship had been completely platonic for years. I gave it up to make him feel secure. We've been together for about a year and a half. He's an alcoholic who's relapsed multiple times, and I struggle with BPD. He's cheated on / helped another person cheat in past relationships, which already made trust hard for me.
Okay, so he's either being the cheater or the cheatee.
Yeah. Recently, he rejoined AA and became close to a new woman there. She's 24. Within just a couple of weeks of knowing her, he bought one of her hoodies, wore it to meetings, and started liking a ton of her posts, including selfies. He never likes posts of his male friends or other people in recovery, just hers. What really got me is how he immediately spent money on her. He only just recently bought something for me after a long time. Yet her, he quickly shelled out money without hesitation. When I bring it up, he insists there's nothing going on and that I'm being paranoid. But honestly, I find it deeply hypocritical. He made me give up a harmless male friend out of his jealousy. Yet he's out here forming a fast, emotionally charged bond with a woman, showering her with social media attention and support of her business. How can I trust him?
See, if he was just buying the merch, that'd be one thing. I've seen some merch from people that I've known over the years. It's sick. I would happily buy it. Being a creep and going through and liking all of the posts, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that addiction in the brain, it is experienced neurologically exactly the same way, regardless of what the addiction is. So if there is something that is sparking that dopamine hit in the same way that he was getting from alcohol, then he's likely to fall into a similar pattern of behaviors regardless.
Especially considering association is a very big thing for addiction. So it's a lot easier to replace an addiction than it is to break an addiction. That's why one of the times my dad tried to quit smoking, and this happens for a lot of people. A lot of people go dumb because every time I want to have a smoke, I have a piece of chewing.
Because it's like an oral fixation type thing. Yeah.
Well, it's both, because it's I have a craving, I'm doing something else put in place of my current addiction. The oral fixation is because you're just used to having something going on with your mouth, so you're kind of doing both sides of it at the
You're
same time.
replacing the behavior.
Yeah. You're replacing both the behavior and giving a response to the stimulus. My dad did it with Eclipse mints because his teeth were fucked. So he couldn't do chewy. So he's just like, hey, I'm going to eat mints. Best smelling breath you'll ever find.
Not anymore.
Didn't help with the teeth though, because those things are almost pure sugar. Also didn't help with the diabetes.
Maybe that caused the diabetes.
No, that was caused by one of his cancer treatments. They were giving him glucose shots as part of one of the treatments. And because they were introducing so much extra sugar to his system, diabetes. It also didn't help that his preferred drink at the time was dark beer, which is very high sugar. But it also does help that he found out that tequila helps burn off sugars really fast. So every time he'd have a beer, shot of tequila with it. My dad, smart alcoholic. To swap the addiction, you need to have something that's connecting one to the other. I've heard of people that when they have a stimulus happen, they will just straight away do whatever it is they want to do. So I know people that have gone jogging instead of having a drink. I know people that have, as I said, gone with mints or chewing gum. The other side of it is, if you don't actively do a thing, you can have an addiction caused by doing something that's making me think of the thing that I'm trying to give up. And now I'm associating that, instead of with the drink, with her, because she's the thing I'm focusing on every time that somebody's bringing up the fact that I used to drink, because that is the part that makes AA hard for a lot of people, because you're hearing everyone talking about, hey, this is what I used to do when I drink. And it's just, hey, for the next hour, I'm going to be hearing about drinking. A lot of people don't want to hear about other people drinking while they're trying to recover. It's why you also don't see recovering alcoholics go to a bar, because, hey, everyone else here is drinking, it makes it harder. They're making all the synapses fire up when they're in a place where they're talking about the addiction we're trying to get rid of. And now there is a girl here that I am some level of interested in, and that synapses is still firing, so it's making the connection between the two.
Even if it isn't, it may not necessarily even be a romantic connection.
No,
it's like a it could be like a pheromone thing, where it's just there is an attraction here, and it actually has nothing to do with any sort of interaction you might have with the person itself or finding them physically attractive or anything. It's literally something like biological. So
Failing that, it could also just be that the stories they're telling are really interesting. If they're telling stories that are very interesting and you're still having that synopsis fire up, they're the most interesting thing that's happening right now. That's what the connection is going to be to.
yeah, it's just like that girl that Pavloved herself, whereas every time she was happy about something, she had like a dog clicker. And so whenever she felt sad, she clicked the button and it made herself happy again. Like it's exact same principle.
The thing she has to be concerned about is that now she's clicking it every time she's sad. So it could eventually have the opposite effect.
Well, that's why when it comes to operant conditioning like that, you do have to continuously reinforce it. So it's only going to keep working when she's sad if she's persistently continuing to do it for when she's happy as well.
Also, perfectly fine to try and condition yourself. Don't condition other people. That's fucking creepy.
I don't know. There was that one girl that did it where just all she did was offer him crispy M&Ms every time she saw him because it was his favorite snack. So every single time he saw her, he got really happy for some reason. And that was just an accident, but still.
That is unintentional conditioning, though. If you're intentionally trying to condition somebody, go seek help. Psychological help, not help in conditioning other people.
Key comments. Girl. People who don't want their partners to have opposite sex friends, don't trust them because that's how they think. He's eyeing up girls all the time, so he assumes you're eyeing up guys or that they all just want to get into your pants. Giving a girl hoodies? ? You should have run when he made you cut people out of your life. That's controlling, insecure bullshit. I hope you learned a lesson and will never ditch friends for a romantic partner again. He's cheated before and has addiction issues. The real question is, why do you believe you don't deserve better? Another comment. The other side of this coin is my girlfriend who had guy friends that eventually hit on her and she cheated on me with one of these. He's just a friend, guys. So if I don't trust opposite sex friends, that's why. Call it controlling, call it insecure. For me, it's a big red flag. No guy friends. Thanks. It's like, okay, but that's literally not the guy friends though. That was you having a shitty girlfriend.
Yeah. Look, most of the people that are in this guy's, the commenter's position, I know a lot of people that went through that mentality when they were in their early to mid 20s, and then they met somebody that made them not have that opinion anymore.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, you're so cool and I don't want to fuck you. Huh.
No, it's quite the opposite. It's, hey, you actually make me feel really secure about our relationship. I no longer feel a need to want you to not be around guys.
That's how I felt with you. Next, we've had this conversation about previously, but I'm pretty sure you weren't on that episode. That was with Nate, where it's like, oh my God, she's always one of the guys. Aren't you worried about her trying to sleep with all the boys in the group? And it's like, she fucking should. They're amazing. Like
she had slept with at least one of the guys in the group.
Good for her.
But yeah, I also feel the same way with you. But also, when we were first getting together, there was one of your friends that were rather obviously trying to hit on you.
And I was so autistic, I didn't even fucking notice.
Well, to be fair, you were also coming out of a extremely long-term relationship.
I was not paying attention to fucking shit. And then it was pointed out, I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm sorry, like, thought you were reaching back out to me after all of these years to check in on me with everything that was happening. And it was nice to actually chat to people that I hadn't spoken to in so many years. But no, if that's all that was... Awesome.
I could understand if there was a guy in our social group that also was interested in all of the girls, because all of the girls in our social group are awesome too. Though every single one of them is in a relationship with one of our guys.
Well, I was also having the same chat with Hugh on the way back from the comedy club at the last open mic. Hugh Rogers, check him out online. I should get him on the show. I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, it was because James Connors, one of the owners, Newcastle Comedy Club, his girlfriend was at that open mic and I very rarely get to see her. She's not out and about often. And I was talking to Hugh about how she was my guardian angel because once upon a time when I first joined, like we all have this comedy group chat. I was invited into that and I had one dude basically sexually proposition me in the chat. And it was like every single person came flying in and was like, absolutely fucking not. That's unacceptable, which is unheard of in comedy. I'm literally talking about the most basic bitch white dudes you've ever seen in your life, like every comedy club that you've ever seen. As soon as I was just randomly propositioned like that, they immediately shut it down and said that that wasn't tolerated, which was amazing. And then in comes Jane's missus, and she's like, yeah, you're not sticking around anymore. And she booted him from the group. And I reminded Hugh of that. And he's like, oh my God, I remember feeling so bad about that. And you just like, what made it worse was that you just brushed it aside. Like, oh yeah, it happens a lot. Like it's not a big deal. And that made me feel worse. And I'm like, I know, it's because I'm hot. And then he just started laughing again. He's like, oh, I remember that part too. Anyone would want to be hitting on any of the girls or any of the guys or any of the days in the group.
We hit on each
They're all
other enough.
fucking amazing people. Yeah. I was literally just about to raise that. And I've just noticed that the next comment on here was mine. Girls, because this is in response to the, the no guy friends thanks commenter. Girls can fuck their girlfriends too, mate. Your issue is not with the friends of any gender, but with your choice of partners. No friend will catch the romantic attention of a loyal person. And that's just it. I think OP should fuck his mum. If he's worried, if he's only worried about guy friends, he's got to realise there's a lot more of the population you got to worry about. We haven't seen her mum.
You said his mum.
Well, yeah, same thing. We haven't seen his mum.
No. I'm not saying ew because of his mum. I'm saying ew at incest.
She should fuck his mum.
You said he should fuck his mum.
No, I meant she. I said OP. OP should fuck his mum.
Okay, sorry. I misunderstood.
Another commenter, realize you are dealing with someone who convinced you to give up something to accommodate their needs. Now all he's doing is making sure his needs get met, and he doesn't care that getting his needs met affect your feelings. When you voice your concerns here, he labels you as being paranoid. This silences you because nobody wants to own an identity of being paranoid. Early on, you surrendered your male friend because you wanted to make your boyfriend feel secure. You took responsibility for your boyfriend's emotions. He refuses to acknowledge yours, much less take responsibility for how his behavior affects you. There's an imbalance here, and that's what you feel. I wouldn't trust him. His behavior reeks of selfishness and an inability to take responsibility for how his actions affect you. Realize he doesn't have any respect for your boundaries, but you also don't have to surrender them to appease him. Hope this helps. Hope you make it work.
Couple of things here. I just remembered part of the original post of he's being the cheater and cheatee. You got with somebody that is a habitual cheater. I hate to say it, but what did you think was going to happen?
That also ties in with addiction, like the impulsivity in behavior. It rarely sticks in one arena.